Well, good morning, and good morning from a new adventure. So I'm currently stood in the town of Kington in Herefordshire, which is on the Offa's Dyke path. Beautiful little town, a walker's a welcome town, so it encourages walking in this area, and unsurprisingly when you look at the countryside that surrounds this wonderful little town. So I'm walking a 3-day backpack with my friend Alan. Alan's travelled down from Bracknell, and he's joining me for the 3 days, and we're going to do 52 miles exploring the wonderful countryside to the north and west of Kington. So the plans are to follow Offa's Dyke north from the town up to Aberedw Hill, and then after a couple of miles we're going to head west over towards the New Radnor Hills, and then drop down into the town of New Radnor, or the village of New Radnor. And then we're going to head up onto some hills which I really like a lot, heading west across towards Aberedw, Wood. And these are really unfrequented rolling mid-Wales hills, and the heather should be beautifully purple with far-reaching views south, certainly to the Brecon Beacons National Park. And then we'll head back into Kington when we get to Gladestry, and then pick up the Offa's Dyke and come in over Hergest Ridge. So that's the plan. 3 days, 2 wild cabs, and you'll also note that I'm not using my tarp tent notch on this particular trip. That's my tent of choice when I'm backpacking. Got a slight issue with the zip on one side, and it's having a repair. So my old faithful Vaude power lizard is with me, and bearing in mind that it's a bigger tent than the tarp tent notch, I should certainly feel as though cars go past. I should certainly feel as though I'm in a very luxuriously sized tent. So looking forward to using the old faithful Vaude as well. So let's go 3 days, and hope you enjoy what we put together. Well, hello and good evening from the evening of day one of our 3-day backpack, and currently sat on a hill watching the sun go down to the west, and we've had a great day. 23 miles we've done today, a bit further than we thought we would, but it's been really good. We left Kington, went north on the Offa's Dyke for about 6 miles, then we headed west on a fantastic green lane, which I think was an old drover's road. It was running west to east, and it was really well kept, and came off that, and then we climbed up to Bache Hill in the New Radnor Hills, and or the Radnor Hills above New Radnor, and met one person there, and that's the only person we've met all day. Haven't seen anybody else all day, and we're currently sat on a hill not far from Gwaunceste Hill. I think that's how you pronounce it. Watching the sun go down. Tents are put up. It's just approaching 8 o'clock now, and yeah, it's been a cracking day. Really good day, and we got lots of heather hills to look forward to walking over tomorrow as we head west towards Aberedw Hill and Irwood. So speak to you in the morning. Good afternoon, and good afternoon from day 2 of our Mid Wales backpack, and currently sat on the wonderful Aberedw Hill and overlooking the Wye Valley, and we can see Builth Wells below us and the Royal Welsh Showground, and looking south, got great views over all of the Brecon Beacon mountain ranges, the Black Mountain to the west, Penavon, Corndee, Cribin, Vanabeg in the central Brecon Beacons, and then the Black Mountains, see Rostirien, Tumper, Haybluff as well. It's absolutely fabulous, and we're about 10 miles into the walk on day 2. See our tents laid out behind us. It didn't rain last night, but they were absolutely soaking. It must have had a really heavy dew, and the wind, it was quite breezy last night, so went to bed thinking this is a bonus, the wind's going to keep the tents dry. Well, actually it must have driven a lot of dew onto the tents, and woke up this morning absolutely soaking. So this is the disadvantage of me using my Sil nylon tent, because the Sil nylon does absorb the water far better than my top tent notch made of Dyneema wood, so I have to dry it here in the sun and the breeze, but it's not going to take too long to do. So this afternoon we're going to leave Aberedw Hill, drop down to the village of Aberedw itself. There's a pub there as well, and then we're going to climb up to Aberedw Rocks. But we're doing really well with our timings, and the plan was to camp at Aberedw Rocks, but we shall see. I'm not quite sure what we'll do. Maybe go beyond a little bit further before we put the tents down, and then make it a much easier last day tomorrow. So that's the plan. Well, good afternoon, and good afternoon from day 3 and the final day of our Mid-Wales backpack. So yesterday, after I spoke to the camera last on Aberedw Hill, dropped into Aberedw, met a very nice lady who kindly filled our water bottles up, and then we climbed up onto the ridge above at Aberedw Rocks. But on the way we stopped at Llewellyn's cave. It's called Llewellyn's cave because that's where Llewellyn ap Gruffydd, the last sovereign Prince of Wales, spent his night in 1282. He met his fate at the Battle of Irvon Bridge, where he was defeated by Edward I and killed. His body is unknown, the whereabouts of his body is unknown, but his head was taken to the Tower of London, according to what I've read in the past. Now, a little story about Llewellyn ap Gruffydd. My wife Jill, someone from her mum's side of the family, did a family tree, and I am married to Welsh blue blood, because there is a direct link from my wife all the way back to and beyond Llewellyn ap Gruffydd to about 1053. So I always say it's like being with Blackadder. She's married someone who is clearly not of the same station as her, but yep, she is directly descended from the Welsh royal family. So went to the cave. It was quite poignant with the Llewellyn's coat of arms there. And then after that went up to the farmhouse above, and just one, because it was sort of a moment in time when someone's just left the farmhouse and decided farming doesn't work anymore, and they've just left coats and jackets and trousers hanging up, and spices and hand creams and day-to-day items just left on the shelves as they were when they left. And the latest date we could find was 1984. After that we climbed up onto the ridge, as I said, and then we went to Twm Tobacco's grave. Now, Twm Tobacco was a packman. He sold tobacco as well as other trinkets, and it is said that he died at the spot where he was then buried, and there's a grave and a plaque marking that. And then last night we camped on the side of Rhulen Hill, really peaceful. It was beautiful watching the hillsides being bathed in a golden light as the sun went down. So I'm currently climbing up Hergest Ridge, which is above Gladestry. So we've just come through the village of Gladestry, and we've enjoyed a very pleasant walk from the camp spot at Rhulen Hill to our location. Some really lovely moorland, which felt quite remote, nobody around, and views as far as the eye can see. So we've got about 4 miles or so now back to Kington, and we're now back on the Offa's Dyke path and following this wonderful Hergest Ridge. So thank you ever so much for watching this particular effort. Thank you to Alan for doing some of the filming as well, and if you've walked in this area and you've got any recommendations as to where else could explore, please do so. I love this area. I think the hills are wonderful. They're uneroded, wide grassy paths, bracken and beautiful purple heather. It's just a joy walking in this area, and it's wonderful for backpacking. But thanks ever so much for watching, and see you on the next one.